Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, January 21st, 2023, after 3 p.m. Eastern. When one becomes enlightened, laughter is almost a natural byproduct. Spontaneously, it obtains. It comes for the simple reason that we have been searching and searching and searching for lifetimes for something which was already there inside. Our whole effort was ridiculous. Our whole effort was absurd. One laughs at the great cosmic joke. I'll show. A dose of daily laughter is the key to manifesting an amazing life that you love. Laughing is a key ingredient to learning how to let go. It is one of the most positive releases one can experience without having an actual orgasm. Laughter frees you up in such a unique way that there is no mind there analyzing, criticizing, and constantly efforting to remain in control. A good, long, authentic belly laugh is one of the best medicines you could ever take on a daily basis. If you can truly do this every day, it's a good chance you're a highly liberated human being who is far along the journey on your spiritual path. If you can just have one big, long, deep belly laugh every day about something, anything, that is remotely humorous, you will start opening yourself up like a flower to receive a major healing in your life. There are thousands of reported clinical cases where people have been healed of major life-threatening diseases just through laughing. The endorphins released in our brains naturally create a happy cocktail, which over time induces a massive healing reaction throughout the body. So really, life basically comes down to you laugh or you die. I used to do karaoke, not karaoke, but stand-up improvisation, laughter, comedic. And it was both therapeutic for the audience and myself, so that's why I did it. And you laugh every day. You get other people to laugh every day. You do goofy, silly, stupid stuff that regular people would just go, "That's what are you, crazy?" You do off-base things. You get people to laugh. You get them to open up. You get them to relax and not be so serious and not take this life so seriously. Everything's serious. And if you can't laugh at yourself, which I do a lot of, your life, or whatever you're taking too seriously, you're doing the opposite of healing yourself. If you cannot laugh at yourself, your life, or whatever you're taking too seriously, you're doing the opposite of healing yourself. So give yourself permission to have the biggest belly laugh of your life in the next 24 hours. And don't hold back. You'll start having a much lighter experience of life that will impact your inner perception of reality more than you know. It's common that people believe that some silly event needs to happen in order to really have a good laugh. The truth is that if you can start laughing for the humor in this life, you can laugh at just about anything. There is a perspective which is less dramatic, serious, and worried than any other, right? There is a perspective which is less dramatic, serious, and worried than any other. It just sees this human experience as if it was one big, long comedy. Just try to take a humorous view about something you're taking very seriously in your life. Is your seriousness really helping? Laughing about it feels much better than being angry, depressed, ashamed, blamed, or playing some old victim game inside. No matter what it is, we can always choose to see the divine order and comedy behind it all. We can let our lives become a big orgasmic ball of laughter that fills the space with joy everywhere we go. Now, some people say, well, you're irresponsible. You don't take responsibility. Why don't you look at this as being serious? It's just very serious. And they don't know how to respond to somebody who is lighthearted, goofy, funny, and they fight it. The more we laugh, the more we are free. We release that almighty grip on those all too important thoughts, beliefs, expectations, and desires. The freedom leads us directly into the enlightened state. When we realize that we are in charge of which thoughts we choose to entertain, we fall directly into the cosmic joke of it all. The joke is that we are whatever we decide to put our attention on. That's the joke. We are whatever we decide to put our attention on. You become that. If you're serious, worried, distressed, or you don't like yourself, right? And many other things, that's what you become. And most people will go throughout life being that way, and no matter what, they stay that way. And they become that. Reality is like silly putty. It bends and molds to wherever you focus your mind. You can make it be whatever you want it to be. In 1 second, everything can change. Your entire perspective can shift a millimeter to the left, and you suddenly have a brand new, expansive understanding about your entire life. Those who are awake live in a state of constant amazement. Those who are awake live in a state of constant amazement. Buddha. And remember the name Buddha is not a being. It's not somebody. It stands for enlightened one. The same with Christ. That's not a being. It means enlightened one. And we are all enlightened ones. It's just that many don't know they are. The funniest thing about laughter is that it's not something you can do. It's something that happens to you. An authentic, outrageous laughing attack can only fall upon you when you have learned how to totally let go. And many, the majority, haven't gotten there yet. They don't know how to let go. They carry everything with them. And even from young childhood all the way through life, they carry it with them as if their life depends on it. And they don't know it. It's ironic, yet the idea that we are in control of our lives forces us to eventually swing over into the sense of feeling out of control. When we can embrace both sides of the equation and consciously allow the ego to imagine it's in control or out of control, then we can transcend them both. This is when the great cosmic joke sets in. And we realize there is no need to control anything. We awaken to the fact that one of the greatest goals in life, in this life, or any life, is to let it become one deep, long let go. This is when enlightenment sneaks in. It's this overly serious mind that has blinded you from knowing how to fully enjoy life. It has gotten lost in the world of trying to achieve, resist, and become something. Any one of those. Laughter is not about achieving anything. It is a releasing and a cleansing of your past. It liberates you from the mind and delivers you to a place of deep peace inside where enlightenment can be found. The serious mind doesn't have time to reason to laugh. You ever come across people like that? They are so serious, they never seem to have time to or reason to laugh. Even when there is a time where you're just laughing crazy, and they're just standing there, what are you laughing about? It sees no purpose in laughing because it's too caught up. It's so caught up in its own web of illusions. The serious mind has forgotten that the universe is a giant cosmic karmic playground. The serious mind has forgotten that the universe is a giant cosmic karmic playground where you are the actor, director, and producer of the play, as well as the watcher, witnesser, audience, who's seeing it all happening on stage. This massive playground exists in all directions, and it is within everything around you now. Just feel the vastness of its infinite presence. Connecting with the infinite universe provides the space to relax, let go of everything, and laugh at it all. Have you ever gotten in a, you, right? Any of us are in a position, space, situation where you just basically and you feel it. It's not like you intentionally do it, but you kind of know, and you just kind of let everything fly out, and you just laugh. You just laugh. You genuinely have a laugh on how ridiculous things are, on how just absolutely far out they are. And you laugh. And boy, I'll tell you, you want to really laugh good in this very now moment? Just look at all the most ridiculous things happening on the surface. And you'll laugh every day. There really is just one simple rule for creating massive joy in our lives. If and when we want to have an amazing life that we love, don't ever let seriousness into your body. Yeah? If you want to have an amazing life that you love, don't ever let seriousness into your body. Ever. Ever, ever. No matter what anyone tells you, if what you're doing is not enjoyable, fun, or at least educational, then don't do it. If what you are doing is not enjoyable, fun, or at least educational, then don't do it. You can find something better. Seriousness is a dis-ease to our souls and only cripples our lives. Maybe many have never looked at that. They think seriousness is being adult. Got to take care of these things. Got to do this and that. Now you think about it. You spend your whole life running around having to do things. When you don't have anything to do, you find things to do because it keeps you occupied and misdirected. So you say you do that your whole life and you leave the body. Did you really enjoy your life? No. But boy, it's a big difference when you leave the body and you recognize all this and you come with the karma that you created for yourself, and it's a whole different ballgame. Seriousness is a dis-ease to our souls and only cripples our lives. It's never too late to change directions. It's never too late. I don't care if you're 90 years old. It's never too late. Never too late to change directions and to have a sense of humor about it all. Just choose to let a little more lightness into your heart right now. Well, a lot of people say, well, how can you have lightness? Everything is doom and gloom. Everything is bad. Everything is down and out. Everything is horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Because they don't understand their programming. Okay? And you wonder why they feel so boggled. Now, when you choose to let a little more lightness into your heart, how does that feel? If you can bring this lighter heart feeling into your mornings, your entire week will become lighter and more clear. The cloudy skies go away, and you can see how beautiful and fun life is again. Did you remember that life is supposed to be fun? It just feels good to see how ridiculous the serious mind is and how overly contracted it can become about anything. Happiness is always a choice. Happiness is always a choice, no matter what's going on around you. And what appears to be serious now will only change with time. So why not let go of this tension earlier? We can afford to follow a lighter path now, and others will appreciate it. They will soon catch on. Even if people are devout grumpsters. You ever met a devout grumpster? No? You can't compliment them because they just totally throw it out the window, right? And they always have a grumpy attitude about things. Not everything, but a lot of things. Have you ever come across devout grumpsters? Your simple light-heartedness may be the secret to helping them bust a small smile when no one is watching. Having access to this light, playful spirit is the key to creating a tremendous healing in your life. It's the greatest golden secret to turning everyone's life around, including yours. And simply say to yourself every day, I can let go and laugh about it all. It's time we started to have more fun in this awesome game called life. It all starts by taking a tiny step back from the mind and not taking anything, especially your mind, too seriously. And what we're doing on this planet, some aware, some not, some unconscious, is that we're transforming. The things that we would have liked, we would in this life, right? That we would have liked to have done, but because of this, we didn't. We haven't. I get communications from people all over this planet to say, "What? Oh, go do it. Do it." And they say, "Can't." Why? What's stopping you? What? And then all this, all this stuff floods out. And my simple response is, the only thing that's stopping you is you. Nothing is stopping any of us but ourselves. And what is that? What is that force that we all have that stops us? That's the ego mind. You know why we get angry? Ego mind. Automatic. It's not even a debate. You know why there's conflict? Ego mind. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who does this? Who does that? Trivial. It's absolutely trivial crap that we occupy our lives with on a daily basis. Because the mind, ego mind, is in control. And you're its slave. I've talked to many souls outside the body, right? When they still have the impression, and the impression is that they still believe they're that life, okay? They're not. As soon as they leave that body, that life is extinguished, gone, and everything with it. But they still hold on for a period of time to the image, right, that their power, their energy forms, that they believe that they're still in that life, or that's still them. And so what happens is that they go over a list of things. They express things, and talk about things that, I can't believe I did this in this life. I wasted all this time. I worry, stressed, and feared. I had some souls that say, I can't believe I spent my whole life worrying about my body weight, or worrying about how I look, or worrying about trivial, just absolutely ego mind controlled things. And for the most part, they didn't have a happy life. They didn't really enjoy their lives. They became more and more bitter, more and more cantankerous, more and more obtrusive, conflicting, mainly with themselves, and then it would gush out onto others. None of us really care to have that kind of life. None of us do. If you walked up to somebody and you said, hey, would you like to have a life that you were constantly worry, fretting, and fearing about yourself, about how you are, about how you look, about how this, and about how that, and, about everything? What do you think they would say? No way, Jose. I had one question posed to me. Well, then, if everyone is supposed to enjoy their lives, how is it that just about everyone doesn't? Because they don't know who and what they are. That's it. It's because they don't know who and what they are. I was talking to one of our sisters last night who never seemed to complain or anything anytime I communicated with her. Never acted as if she was down and out, or actually acted that their life was wonderful. And then I find out that she was living in a 6x9 container, like a closet, okay? Now picture that, guys. In this country, living in a 6x9 space. It was kind of like a closet, pretty much was a closet. And you know what was interesting? She donates to the association whatever she can. She's completely unselfish. And she's constantly helping anybody she can help, working in hospice and living in a 6x9 space. Holes in the walls. Bugs. She told me that she put on a shoe, right? She was putting on her shoe and a mouse bit her. She said, I couldn't kill it. She said, I can't kill anything. Making handmade gifts and stuff in a 6x9 living space. So as she was coming to the meditations, her kids didn't even know this. They didn't know it. They had no clue. How did she get in that position? Her mother died, and they lost everything. It's unusual. You'd be surprised at stories that people will share with you. So she kept literally focusing on what she wanted. Kept focusing on it. Going into meditations, listening to calls, and lo and behold, her son shows up and sees how she's been living and just was blown away. So she had a few boxes of belongings, just a couple boxes. That's all she had to her name. And her son said, you're out of here. You can't live this way. Got you a one-bedroom apartment. Now, at the time, she was in Michigan. And now she is miraculously being transported. And now that tiny one-bedroom apartment, to her, she said, I don't have any furniture, but I don't care because I can walk. I can walk further than 8 steps. She's like almost crying because she was so elated that she had that space compared by that 6x9 closet that she lived in. So she discovered that no matter what situation you're in, you focus on deeply with your heart mind on what you want, it materializes. And it was like a blink of the eye. Then all of a sudden, she had a gal come into her life that she had known the past 20 years. She says, I want to take you somewhere. So the woman ends up taking her to a building where she gets vitamin C IV treatment. Pays for it for her. Think about that. Out of the clear blue. So anybody, and I get this all the time, anybody, and here's the key, and it's not like I'm saying, oh, well, you should go homeless, but there's something that happens when each time you lose everything, you're penniless, broke, and you just have clothes on your back. Okay? Now, it may not sink in the first time or the second time. It surely does about the third time. I had it. This happened 3 times. And you know what you start to realize? Any of the stuff that you've accumulated isn't a big deal. It's stuff. You enjoy it. You access it. That's all it is. And one day you could wake up and it's all gone. All of it. So you appreciate when you have much more. Okay? because you have not had. There's a big difference there, say. And in order for a person to be poor, as I've said, you got to be rich first to know, and then go and then be poor. Then you know what poor is. And it is all in our ego minds that cause this friction in our lives where we're just not happy with ourselves. We're not. And there's a lot of people that just are not happy with themselves. They can hide it well, mind you. They're masterful at hiding it. They bury it deep inside themselves. And they carry it with them their whole lives. And then when they know it's time to leave the body, it dawns on them. I can't believe I spent all this time about this that I've been carrying. And a lot of times it comes out. It's like I witnessed my mother and my sister, her daughter. And at the time, my sister was 65. My mother was 92. And they had friction off and on, okay? Because they were so much alike. They just didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And so my sister just profusely poured out to my mother in her bedroom at a retirement home about how sorry she was about a lot. Because, see, my sister knew that she was going to be leaving the body. My mother knew she was going to be leaving the body. It was interesting how my mother responded to her daughter, okay? It's something I never saw my mother do before. But she just was completely forgiving of all the things my sister didn't do and that my sister was guilty about, that my sister was literally letting loose and sharing with my mother and apologizing and asking her for her forgiveness. And it's interesting what happens when we're in the space of leaving life, leaving the body. And this went on for a few hours in my mom's bedroom. Now, my mother was really concerned about the fact that she told me that no parent wants to outlive their child. And I told her, I said, it really doesn't matter, who goes first. All that matters is that you're at peace with yourself. I mean, truly at peace with yourself. And this is what we do through this life. We're at peace with ourselves, therefore we're really not interested in engaging with anything. The stupid little things. And they're inconsequential, is that we allow to overtake us. And it's almost as if we don't care to spend time within ourselves discovering who and what we are and forgiving ourselves. We incessantly spend more time outside of ourselves, interacting with that outside world. And it's interesting. It isn't about all of that out there. It isn't about all of that. It's about all of you, the God that you are. Do you think it's all about money? It's not all about money. Money is an energy that should be kept moving across the planet. So it's like now a very simple formula. First, you help yourself. Okay? First, you get yourself balanced. Whatever kind of balance that is for you. And you work on yourself. I'm not talking about appearances or anything. I'm talking about you, the heart of you, enjoying your own company. How many people enjoy their own company? Not many. Enjoying your own company. People get they become alone. They feel alone. And the funny thing is, hopefully they'll discover it. They're never alone, and they never will be alone. And how could any of us get bored with ourselves? I mean, you ever carry on a conversation with yourself during the course of the day? You ever? Yeah, I mean, just have communication going on. Well, I don't do that because, people think I'm crazy. What do we care what other people think? Really? I carry on conversations with myself all the time. I talk with the God that I am inside the body all the time. It's a choice, though, see. Everyone has a choice. And as you get to know yourself, and you let down all the guards and everything that these illusions that you put up to protect your emotions and feelings because you've had emotional hurt, pain, and challenge, and so you build these walls up around the heart to protect yourself. Protect yourself from what? Remember, you're not the body, you're the infinite God source. You never die. You never age like this disease on this planet. You're infinite. When you focus on that, and it cannot come from the ego mind. When you focus on that through the heart mind, when you relax, when you really relax, when was the last time you relaxed? I mean, just let it out. Just let it go. Permanently. When was the last time you took a look at your life, not in judgment, okay, but in love, light, and you look at your life and you say, wow, I've done a lot of repeats, haven't I? Then you look at it and you say, well, I have all these repeats. Repeats mean that you do the same thing but in different ways, but it's the same thing. I mean, I've talked to people who have been married 5, 6, 7 times. And the point is that it's conditioning. It's programming. When we're babies, we're in baby bodies, we're not programmed. You ever notice it? Have you ever seen a baby afraid of anything? Really, for the most part. I mean, when you're 4, 5, 6, when you're 3, 4, 5, are you really afraid of anything? No, you're not until you don't become fearful of things. You don't worry, stress, and fear until you're programmed by other people's thoughts. This is why the planet, and why is that? It's because we have not broken the cycle of the redundancy of how life has been artificially constructed for humanity. We learn. Some of us start to discover it. It's like we're all Sherlock Holmes, and we're investigating why we are. And we look for clues to why we are. And at first we go outside of ourselves, and then we go inside and we start, like a Sherlock Holmes, we start investigating, putting the pieces together that lead to the gods that we are within the body. When you look at all the shenanigans out there, and you look at all the crazy hooey going on out there, that's better than going to a comedy shop. I mean, way better. You laugh all day long. When you look at the ridiculousness of it all, and you stand outside of it, right? And you leave the mind and ego alone, And you're watching, you laugh, you could laugh and laugh and laugh. Imagine how the impact that would be. You're talking with other people and they're serious about everything, right? And you just start cracking up. And they just freak out and they go, why are you laughing? Look at all this crap that's going on. We may not be alive tomorrow. You start laughing, you say, we may not be alive in the next 10 minutes. We may not be in these bodies, no matter what's going on out there. So when you laugh, isn't it much better than being serious? And then when we stop worrying about what other people think of us, our habits, whatever they may be, when we stop worrying about that, then you're really on true freedom, okay? That doesn't concern you. You don't care. Love you for you, exactly as you are in this very now moment. Love you for you, deeply and eternally. And all the little things that people outside of you critique and comment on, be yourself at all times. Don't change yourself for anybody or anything outside of you. You don't need to. It's like when you go into you're married, right? And you go into this tunnel. And because what happens? You judge each other, right? You judge each other, but then you feel locked up because you're married. You can't just walk out the door. It's like you've obligated yourself, and you feel that pressure on top of trying to figure out each other instead of just figuring out each other, just enjoying each other, which is rare in this country and on this planet. Now, let's say there was no such thing as marriage, and you just cohabitated, right? And if you didn't feel for you, that it was pleasant and enjoyable, then you would leave and move on. Marriage is another construct for the civilization to do what? Control them. Contract. Con. Remember, in the word contract, the first word is con. You're conning someone. You may be conning each other, or the municipality or the person who has been given authority to deem you to be married. You see how all these constructs have been put in place? And look at what it's caused. Look at what we've allowed it to cause throughout the ages. Entire countries fell because of a marriage. I mean, it's like huge. Was there a time on this planet that there was no such thing? Absolutely. And how does all of this play out? Until you are truly happy with yourself and you deeply, eternally love yourself, and you've discovered your natural state of being is the heart-mind, then you're going to constantly be challenged. When you get miffed, irritated, stressed, in the tiniest little way or larger way, you begin to manifest that. More of it. You've probably been in arguments with others, right? You know what the argument's about? It's either one critiquing another about habitual activities, or the other one not understanding the communication between the two, and it becomes conflict, friction, and what? Lowers the vibrational frequencies, disturbs the field. Now ask yourself this. Have you ever in this lifetime so far, have you ever accepted anybody genuinely, heart-wise, heart-mind-wise, exactly the way they are? Have you ever done that? Have you ever accepted somebody exactly the way they are, without judgment, without critiquing, right? Without analyzing? That's a pretty interesting question, isn't it? That one would pose to oneself. And you find in life, no matter who you're associated with, it doesn't matter, right? You'll find in this life that if they don't help themselves, there's no way, shape, form you will be able to help them. Ever. Period. No matter how much kibitzing you do, no matter how much debating you do, it will not go anywhere. And there's a lot of people on this, and I've talked to people that say, of course I help myself. Well, great. But then when you make recommendations and you say certain things, it goes in one ear and out the other, because they, number one, don't like themselves. But they'll swear up and down that they do. But they don't. You can always tell when someone does not like themselves, where they have not made peace with themselves. And where do you think arguments come from? They stem from what? Ego mind. Got to be right or wrong. Someone's got to be right, someone's got to be wrong. And that conflict continues because the ego mind loves it, because it feeds it and feeds it and feeds it. Why even argue? It's a complete waste of energy. It's a lower vibrational frequency. You take a group of angry, pissed off people, right? You take a group of people that are at peace. Huge difference. Huge. The atmosphere around them, the energy, the feeling in that kind of field. Why do you think that they've tried to keep this planet in turmoil forever? And that's what we're eliminating. No matter, see, and this is where the laughter comes in. The laughter comes in because you're going, I got to laugh at this. Why do I have to laugh at it? Because it's so ridiculous. And none of this is going to happen. That's another thing. All the doom and gloom and all the stuff that people will dive into it. They become groupies and they follow, the different talking people and the predictions and everything. They follow it. They can't stay away from it. They become groupies. Then they'll swear up and down that they're not groupies. But it's like an addiction and they're drawn to it. The way you know how your life is going to be is the way you want your life to be. That's it. The way you're going to have the life that you want to have on this planet is the way you want it to be. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But see, you focus on that all the time, 24/7. It's not an obsession. You don't have attachments to it. You don't have expectations. You're just literally, as powerful as a being as you are, you're sending that out to the universe. The universe is you. You're the universe. And you're saying, look, my vibrational frequencies are going to be high. I'm moving myself higher vibrational frequency. Laughter. Don't take life seriously. It is a waste of our energy. Because you know what? It's temporary. We're not going to be here in these bodies forever. We're going to leave these bodies and we're going to take on another physical form. Go in this quiet time, in this meditation. Feel about you. Feel about your heart-mind. Feel what it's like to be in the heart-mind. Don't take life seriously. You know, some people say, well, you got to take some things seriously. You could be lighthearted, but you can still be very effective. Because it's what you decide for you on how you want to be in this life without any outside influences. Okay? Not caring about what other people say or what other people comment or anything else. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in from the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. This is what's, we each have a decision. We make decisions, right? And there really is no right or wrong. That's a construct on this planet as well. There's just experience. So there's a lot of people that are discussing, love everything inside you. Right now, we can summon a very expansive and profoundly loving experience right in this very now. Start embracing all aspects of yourselves, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. Instead of trying to change, alter, hide, or remove these unwanted parts, simply honor and love them all as they are. Enjoy this newfound embracing freedom. That's exactly what it is. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we'll return here Sunday, January 22nd, 2023, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be very good to yourselves. Practice that all the time. Love yourself. Be kind, gentle, generous, and humble with yourself. Stay in deep gratitude. We never run out of things being grateful for.